In the name of ELOH, the Yielder, the Merciful, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ein, Sad. This is a recital of the mercy of your sustainer to his servant Zechariah. Behold, he cried to his sustainer in secret, praying, O my sustainer, infirm indeed are my bones, and the hair of my head glistens with gray. But never am I unblessed, O my sustainer, in my prayer to you. Now I fear what my relatives and colleagues will do after me, but my wife is barren. So give me an heir as from yourself, one that will truly represent me, and represent the posterity of Jacob, and make him, O my sustainer, one with whom you are well pleased. His prayer was answered. O Zechariah, we give you good news of a son. His name shall be Yahya. On none by that name we have conferred distinction before. He said, O my sustainer, how shall I have a son when my wife is barren and I have grown quite decrepit from old age? He said, so it will be, your sustainer says, that 'tis easy for me. I indeed created you before when you had been nothing. Zechariah said, O my sustainer, give me a sign. Your sign, was the answer, shall be that you shall speak to no man for 3 nights, although you are not dumb. So Zechariah came out to his people from his chamber. He told them by signs to celebrate ELOH's praises in the morning and in the evening. To his son came the command, O Yahya, take hold of the book with might. And we gave him wisdom even as a youth, and pity for all creatures as from us, and purity. He was devout and kind to his parents, and he was not overbearing or rebellious. So peace on him the day he was born, the day that he dies, and the day that he will be raised up to life again. Relate in the book the story of Mary, when she withdrew from her family to a place in the east. She placed a screen to screen herself from them. Then we sent to her our angel, and he appeared before her as a man in all respects. She said, I seek refuge from you to ELOH, the Yielder. Come not near if you fear ELOH. He said, Nay, I am only a messenger from your sustainer to announce to you the gift of a holy son. She said, how shall I have a son, seeing that no man has touched me, and I am not unchaste? He said, so it will be, your sustainer says, that 'tis easy for me, and we wish to appoint him as a sign to men and a mercy from us. It is a matter so decreed. So she conceived him, and she retired with him to a remote place, and the pains of childbirth drove her to the trunk of a palm tree. She cried in her anguish, Oh, would that I had died before this. Would that I had been a thing forgotten and out of sight. But a voice cried to her from beneath the palm tree, do not grieve, for your sustainer has provided a rivulet beneath you, and shake toward yourself the trunk of the palm tree. It will let fall fresh ripe dates upon you. So eat and drink and cool your eye. And if you see any man say, I have vowed a fast to ELOH the Yielder, and this day I will not enter into any talk with any human being. At length she brought the babe to her people, carrying him in her arms. They said, O Mary, truly an amazing thing you have brought. O sister of Aaron, your father was not a man of evil, nor your mother an unchaste woman. But she pointed to the babe. They said, how can we talk to one who is a child in the cradle? He said, I am indeed a servant of ELOH. He has given me revelation and made me a prophet. And he has made me blessed wheresoever I be, and has enjoined on me prayer and charity as long as I live. He has made me kind to my mother and not overbearing or miserable. So peace is on me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day that I shall be raised up to life again. Such was Jesus, the Son of Mary. It is a statement of truth about which they vainly dispute. It is not befitting to the majesty of ELOH that he should beget a son. Glory be to him. When he determines a matter, he only says to it, be, and it is. Verily, ELOH is my sustainer and your sustainer. You, therefore, serve him. This is a way that is straight. But the sects differ among themselves, and woe to the unbelievers because of the coming judgment of a momentous day. How plainly will they see and hear the day that they will appear before us. But the unjust today are in manifest error. But warn them of the day of distress, when the matter will be determined. For behold, they are negligent, and they do not believe. It is we who will inherit the earth, and all beings thereon. To us will they all be returned. Also, mention in the book the story of Abraham. He was a man of truth, a prophet. Behold, he said to his father, O my father, why worship that which does not hear, and does not see, and can profit you nothing? O my father, to me has come knowledge which has not reached you, so follow me. I will guide you to a way that is even and straight. O my father, do not serve Satan, for Satan is a rebel against ELOH the Yielder. O my father, I fear lest a penalty afflict you from ELOH the Yielder, so that you become a friend to Satan. The father replied, do you hate my gods, O Abraham? If you do not forbear, I will indeed stone you. Now get away from me for a good long while. Abraham said, peace be on you. I will pray to my sustainer for your forgiveness, for he is to me most gracious. And I will turn away from you all, and from those whom you invoke besides ELOH. I will call on my sustainer. Perhaps by my prayer to my sustainer, I shall be not unblessed. When he had turned away from them and from those whom they worshipped besides ELOH, we bestowed on him Isaac and Jacob, and each one of them we made a prophet. And we bestowed of our mercy on them, and we granted them lofty honor on the tongue of truth. Also mentioned in the book the story of Moses, for he was specially chosen, and he was a messenger and a prophet. And we called him from the right side of Mount Sinai, and made him draw near to us for mystic converse. And out of our mercy we gave him his brother Aaron, also a prophet. Also mentioned in the book the story of Ishmael. He was strictly true to what he promised, and he was a messenger and a prophet. He used to enjoin on his people prayer and charity, and he was most acceptable in the sight of his sustainer. Also mentioned in the book, the case of Idris. He was a man of truth and sincerity and a prophet, and we raised him to a lofty station. Those were some of the prophets on whom ELOH bestowed his grace, of the posterity of Adam, and of those whom we carried in the ark with Noah, and of the posterity of Abraham and Israel, of those whom we guided and chose. Whenever the signs of ELOH the Yielder were rehearsed to them, they would fall down in prostrate adoration and in tears. But after them there were followed a posterity who missed prayers and followed after lusts. Soon, then, they will face destruction, except those who repent and believe and work righteousness. For these will enter the garden and will not be wronged in the least. Gardens of eternity, those which ELOH the Yielder has promised to his servants in the unseen, for his promise must necessarily come to pass. They will not hear any vain discourse there, but only salutations of peace, and therein they will have their sustenance morning and evening. Such is the garden which we give as an inheritance to those of our servants who guard against evil. The angels say, "We do not descend but by command of your sustainer. To him belongs what is before us and what is behind us and what is between, and your sustainer never forgets, sustainer of the heavens and of the earth, and of all that is between them. So worship him, and be constant and patient in his worship. Do you know of any who is worthy of the same name as he?" Man says, "What? When I am dead, shall I then be raised up alive?" But does not man call to mind that we created him before out of nothing? So by your sustainer, without doubt, we shall gather them together, and also the evil ones with them. Then we shall bring them forth on their knees round about hell. Then we shall certainly drag out from every sect all those who were worst in obstinate rebellion against ELOH the Yielder. And certainly we know best those who are most worthy of being burned therein. Not one of you but will pass over it. This is, with your sustainer, a decree which must be accomplished, that we shall save those who guarded against evil, and we shall leave the wrongdoers therein, humbled to their knees. When our clear signs are rehearsed to them, the unbelievers say to those who believe, "Which of the two sides is best in point of position? Which makes the best show in counsel?" But how many countless generations before them we have destroyed, who were even better in equipment and in glitter to the eye. Say, if any men go astray, ELOH the Yielder extends the rope to them until, when they see the warning of ELOH being fulfilled, either in punishment or in the approach of the hour, they will at length realize who is worst in position and who weakest in forces. And ELOH advances those in guidance who seek guidance, and the things that endure good deeds are best in the sight of your sustainer as rewards, and best in respect of their eventual returns. Have you then seen the sort of man who rejects our signs, yet says, "I shall certainly be given wealth and children"? Has he penetrated to the unseen, or has he taken a contract with ELOH the Yielder? Nay, we shall record what he says, and we shall add to his punishment. To us shall return all that he talks of, and he shall appear before us bare and alone. And they have taken for worship gods other than ELOH, to give them power and glory. Instead, they shall reject their worship and become adversaries against them. Don't you see that we have set the evil ones on against the unbelievers to incite them with fury? So make no haste against them, for we but count out to them a limited number of days. The day we shall gather the righteous to ELOH the Yielder, like a band presented before a king for honors. And we shall drive the reprobates to hell, like thirsty cattle driven to water. None shall have the power of intercession, but such a one as has received permission or promise from ELOH the Yielder. They say, ELOH the Yielder has begotten a son. Indeed, you have put forth a thing most monstrous. At it the skies are ready to burst, the earth to split asunder, and the mountains to fall down in utter ruin, that they should invoke a son for ELOH the Yielder. For it is not consonant with the majesty of ELOH the Yielder that he should beget a son. Not one of the beings in the heavens and the earth, but must come to ELOH the Yielder as a servant. He takes an account of them all, and he has numbered them all exactly. And every one of them will come to him singly on the day of judgment. On those who believe and work deeds of righteousness, ELOH the Yielder will bestow love. So we have made the Koran easy in your own tongue, that with it you may give glad tidings to the righteous and warnings to people given to contention. But how many countless generations before them we have destroyed? Can you find a single one of them now, or hear so much as a whisper of them?